What is up, Brah? So with all of the hype coming around the new stadium event, 6 Invitational about to start, and the introduction of the brand new season, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the best operator concepts that the Siege community has created. I'm super hyped for the new season, and if you think you have a good idea for a new operator in Rainbow Six Siege, be sure to let me know what it is down below. Alright, so if Ubisoft decides to go in order, since the defender was last season with a Rooney, most likely it would be an attacker. But they're even now. Attackers and defenders have the same number, so I mean, who knows? They could go out of order. And if it's a defender, this guy is really interesting. His name is Blockade. He utilizes a grenade device that can rapidly deploy a hardening foam structure to fill in destroyed barricades and broken walls. That would be really interesting to see. He would be like Smoke, where he's really important to stay alive. I mean, if this dude goes and dies spawn peeking, it's going to be similar to Smoke, where your teammates are just going to scream at you. But you know, I mean, that's a risk that we're willing to take, right? But yeah, super interesting. He has an AR on defense. That would mean that only him and Jaeger have AR with the M4, bringing in impacts and deployable shield. So if he had impact grenades, that would actually be really interesting to see the hard breach denial potential, because he could potentially stop the hard breach, but if it does get breached, he could potentially fill it in. I think that it sticks to the core roots of Siege without getting like too wild and too out there. So I really like this idea right here. All right, so obviously this next one, total meme operator, but at the same time, I'd rather see something like this than like Lion pre-nerf, Blackbeard pre-nerf. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This one is the Kidnapper on defense. His special ability is that he has handcuffs. He has special handcuffs and ties the hostage's legs, and then he ties the hostage to a chair so that it's not as easy to grab him and start running. Okay, so this one would be specifically for hostage game mode. Oh, just kidding. He thought about this already. 200 IQ. When it's not a hostage mode, his special ability becomes to injure an enemy and then grab him and make him his hostage. Then the opponents have to rescue the hostage on top of completing whatever other else objective they have. He can also human shield his hostage. So think like Splinter Cell. Let's go. And down here it says their side note. Let's see Blackbeard counter that. Bro, not the worst operator concept I've heard. This one is a 10 out of 10 concept for sure. All right, so next up we got an attacker named Fractor. So he's a 2 armor 2 speed, and he would be bringing a new weapon on top of his information. Let's take a look. So it says Fractor developed a unique gadget called the AXRs, the Advanced X-ray Sensor. It has a type of radiation that can go through many solid materials, allowing hidden objects such as bones and organs or the enemy body to be detected. And I mean, we're not going to really look at like the details of like the cooldowns and stuff, but just like the overall concept of it. Take a random hard wall, or take like a clubhouse church wall. If you're able to get down there, take hall control, you could set up the scanner and then basically see if somebody's gonna like impact trick it from the other side or something. So again, I like how so far the concepts are very like viable, and it stays pretty true to Siege without getting like too wild out there, right? So I'm not sure what Ubisoft's plans are with licensing new guns in Siege, or if they're gonna plan to just recycle more. But yeah, overall that gadget, that's pretty interesting. Kind of looks like how Sam Fisher should have looked if he's not gonna wear the goggles, huh? All right, so next up we got another attacker, 2 armor 2 speed, named Glacier. I believe this concept was brought up before Ace, but still you can only select a certain amount of attackers, right? So what's one more hard breacher? It says that he works with 2 liquid nitrogen chargers, which can be placed like thermite charges on reinforced walls. The LNC freezes with sub-zero temperatures to make a reinforced wall fragile. That's interesting. And then you'll need another breaching charge, which is like a sledgehammer or ash charge, or basically like a soft destruction, to open up the fragile wall. This would kind of remind me of like the Maverick trick, where he could basically Maverick the bottom and top and make it like disappear essentially, and then you would just use a soft destructor like Buck or Ash to open up the rest of it. And it would also promote working together as a team, because you would need someone to come in there. Or I guess you could probably shoot it yourself. I don't know what that interaction would be, if you'd be able to like meg dump the wall once it's frozen to break it up. That'd be interesting to see. But if not, it has the potential to promote a lot of different team play. So yeah, that's really interesting. This one is a 2 armor 2 speed attacker named Ava. It says that she has 3 drones, and they can contain compressed black paint, which can be used in 2 ways. The drone can explode when locked onto a target's head. The target can hear 2 beeps 2 beeps equals 2 blinks, which equals 2 seconds. Okay, that's a good balance. So the defender would have time to react. The target is partially blind for some seconds where they can enter an animation to remove the paint. Okay, so similar to like a Legion, you gotta take out. Flash deals no damage to the enemy target. Okay, so it'd be like a super evolved stun or flash. So that's interesting. Can also be used as support. The drone can stick onto any surface and use as a camera, kind of like a SAM cam, I guess. Oh, and here we go. We got a couple side notes. So target would have 2 seconds to shoot the drone based on the beeps. You can hip fire when you're splashed, and you can remove the paint when moving with one hand. Sounds like you wouldn't be totally incapacitated like when you get slapped with the Elo when she first came out, but yeah, super interesting. Again, I'm not going to really get too much into the guns. I've already made my point where I would love to see new guns, especially something like an ACR like Modern Warfare days, but again, you guys know the drill. Not sure what Ubisoft's licensing deals are, but we'll see what happens. I would love to see it. All right, so next up we got another defender, and this one is, I don't want to butcher the name, Akila. This one would basically be a 3-speed 1 armor, which is always a good thing. It says that she has 2 double-sided grapnels. I don't know if they meant to spell it like that. Grapple, repel. The DSG can be used as a vertical repelling system inside of the map by locking it between the ground and the ceiling, which can pass through a destroyed hatch. That'd be really interesting to see if you could use it on like a single floor. Say like the ceiling is destructible above you, repel up and like hold a line of sight under the ground. That would be crazy. It can also be used as a trap. The DSG can be placed and locked to a wall on its base side. Okay, so kind of like a Capcan trap. The opposite side would have a camera rotating in a tiny angle of 10 degrees. It can grab any enemy at a distance of 13 meters, dealing no damage. It's a cool concept, but at the same time, and just more traps. Says that the DSG can grab friendly operators to make it a meme operator like that. Another interesting thing, this is a gun that I would love to see in Siege, which is the KSG. That was like one of my favorite meme guns in Black Ops 2. Me and my friends would annoy the crap out of people because it had such an insane range. KSG is a shotgun and it shoots a slug. So imagine like a Boss G, except with more ammo count. And again, with the PDR, I'm not sure what the licensing issues are with Ubisoft. But yeah, if there was a character that was introduced with 2 or more new guns, I would love to see it. I think you guys will love to see it too. So we'll see what they do. All right, so next up, we got another attacker from the very talented concept artist named FiveJericho, I believe his name is. Yeah, so huge shout out to FiveJericho. This one's a 2 armor 2-speed attacker where his unique ability is being an entry frag operator. So I mean, that sounds awesome. He would have a jammer on his body which would allow him to disrupt defender gadgets temporarily. Basically, he could enter a room without triggering any traps like goo mines, concussion mines, EDDs, or nitrocells. His jammer would last for 10 seconds and works only for himself. The traps won't get destroyed, so as soon as he is out of range, the trap can be triggered by another attacker. Okay, so this would be really interesting to see. If he has a crazy good gun, it sounds extremely OP. Pre-placed C4s wouldn't work on this guy. Literally nothing would work on this guy, right? I guess distance like Maestro, Evil Eye Cam would work. I would be curious to see what kind of range. For example, if his range is only like a short bubble around him, like a much smaller like vigil bubble, I'd be curious to see if the C4 is like far enough away from him if you could still get it off. But overall, it's a super interesting idea. I feel like the range around him would have to be extremely small in order to make sure that he's balanced correctly. Otherwise, can you imagine the best sweaty Ashmain running in there, and imagine knowing goo mines, wubs don't work on them, pre-placed C4s? That would be terrifying. So yeah, the range would definitely have to be small. But I mean, bro, I'm not opposed to anything at this point. This isn't even that far out there based on some characters that we've seen. So I mean, who knows, dude? Anything could happen. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Which of these characters would you most like to see in the game? I already know that Kidnapper is gonna get the #1 vote, but whatever. I'll see you guys all very soon in the next video. Love you all. Peace.